Anyways, hey, what is up, my little ravens? It is me, Crazy Raven here, and welcome to something new, which is story time. So, I just thought of this idea today, really. Really, I just thought of it today. I was listening to excuse me. I was listening to very early 2000s music, like rock music, which I'm into that, really old stuff. So I was thinking, because I just remember where I actually found the fucking how I found some of the music that I listen to today, and some of it I don't know anymore, but if I listen to it, I might know it. The fuck is going on there? Alright, I might know it if I listen to it, but story time. So, I was around 4, 5 at the time. This was in the early 2000s, because I was born in 2002, so this was 2000. I think it might have been 2004, 2005. One of those eras of time. At the time, I was living with my grandma. I wasn't living with my mom. So, yeah. Don't ask me why. I don't remember why. So, now I live with my grandma and my mom, my little sister. But, anyways, I was living with my grandma at the time, okay? I always do this now, still. But, whenever I'm in my room, I'm trying to sleep and shit, I would always have the radio on at the rock station and shit. They would always play Linkin Park, Stone Sour, what's other bands that were on there? Drowning Pools, I believe. I know there were other bands on there. I believe Stained was on there, just a soft rock band. Excuse me. But at the time, that's what I always did, and that's really what got me into music in general. So, yeah, that's really how I got into some of these classic 2000 songs and bands. But they would always play Linkin Park, Stone Sour. I remember that. I believe 30 Seconds to Mars was on there. Stained. I think 3 Days Grace was on there as well. But yeah, that's, I was always raised on heavy metal and shit. But I would also be always in my room half of the time, like I am now. Still, but yeah, I would like whenever I go out in the living room when I was younger. Yeah, I would always watch Scooby Doo and the Boo meets the Boo, yeah, meets the Boo Brothers. That it's a classic. It's one of my favorites, really. But really, I would mostly be in my room, like having the radio on at night, cause like I didn't really have a TV in my room. If I think if I did, I think I did, but it would. I think it was like a small box TV at the time when I had a TV at first. But yeah, that's what really got me into the music I listen to now. But really, that's the start of how I really got into music, really. And then just when I was still in school and shit, I didn't really enjoy music that much up until like 7th, 8th grade. I started getting into music again, and I started liking more bands. I started exploring, branching out in my music taste, really. That's how I know Sleeping with Sirens and hold on. Don't open it. Like, yeah, see, Stone Sour. Really, like, that's how I know a lot of bands, really. Like Black Veil Brides, My Chemical Romance, Bring Me the Horizon. But for real, like, I know a lot of 2000s yeah, a lot of early 2000 rock songs, and I know like Nirvana was on there as well, and that was like a 90s band as well. But really, it's basically like I don't remember a lot of songs that I used to listen to, but if I, like, from time to time, I'll start remembering lyrics to certain songs, and then I'll look those lyrics up and I'll be like, I'll find that song. Like, I found Second Chance by Shinedown by remembering the lyrics, because that was always on the radio, and I actually like that song, really. But really, this is basically how I got into music. Like, the first time I actually believed I heard music was back, like, 2004? 2004-ish? 2003? Somewhere around that era, I think. Probably. I mean, like, I believe 2004 because when I remember hearing a song off of this album, 1X by 3 Days Grace, because we had a Time Warner Cable at the time, and I was living with my mom. My aunt was living with us, and I heard Riot off of this album, and I was like, I don't remember at the time what I was thinking, but that was 2004, I believe, and that wasn't by the time I was living with my grandma. That was when I was still living with my mom. So, really, when I actually really first listened to music was when I was still living with my mom and Riot came on. But I was like not even really listening to it really. I would like if you guys are born in like the early 2000s, like I mean like 2002 and shit, you guys probably would remember like they had this like Sand or something. Like I don't remember what the fuck it was called, but like I like there was like a farmer set or whatever, like a kingdom set, like where you had like clay sand or whatever. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but you could make shit out of it. I don't remember what the fuck it was. But really, I was playing with that. I had my ex over. Just playing with that with her. Riot came on. I looked up, see what the fuck it was. Went back down to playing because I really didn't really give a shit really at the time. And then once I lived with my grandma, I had a radio really where I listened to rock music, and really like I listened to that like it would be on all the time for me. And that's really when I actually started listening, like paying attention to like the music really, and how I got into music. When I stopped for a very long time. I stopped when I was like in 2nd grade, I believe. So fast forward from 2nd grade to 5-6 years later, I started to listen to more music. I started to I didn't really like music when I hit 2nd grade, but I would listen to it. I didn't really enjoy it that much anymore, like I do now. But fast forward 5-6 years later, I started to listen to more music now. Then, I should say. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Really, when I started listening to more music, because I was dating one of my exes at the time, and she showed me like My Chemical Romance and shit. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not, and shit, And I liked it. I liked it a lot. They're good. I like them. They're amazing. But yeah, that's when I really started to branch out in my music, really. And then fast forward like a year or two later, from 8th grade, I started writing songs. Because like in 10th grade last year, we were doing like something about poetry, and I made a statement saying like poetry is like writing a song, but without someone singing it and without the music part. You're just writing a song, but you're not singing, you're saying it. So, because, songs have rhythm, Poetry has rhythm. Songs have rhyming in it. Poetry has rhyming in it. Poetry and music, technically the same thing, really. But I'll end this video here. That was technically my story and how I basically learned music, how I got into music. And if you guys like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Make sure to join Little Raven because we all love you here. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to this video, except reporting, not reporting. Just leave a dislike and comment something you do not like in general. My name is Raven. This was Story Time with Raven, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.